Hey everyone, this is Wake Angel 2001. I hope you liked my coverage of the August 2017 solar eclipse and my Darunia figure. Really proud of this one. Think it came out pretty nice. Now this vlog is a few days late because, again, my tape messed up and I wasn't able to see the episode on Saturday, so I had to wait. Until somebody posted it online because cable sucks and Sonic Boom isn't coming on demand. And you know what? Neither is Transformers or Justice League Action. It seems that all the shows that I want to watch, not only do they not rerun them frequently enough, but they don't even put them on demand fast enough. But you know, I'm not gonna bitch about my cable right now. I'm going to talk about an episode that I think might be one of my favorites. This episode is actually really awesome. Okay, it has all the hallmarks of things I love from it. It has continuity with previous episodes, recurring characters, callbacks to the proper universe stuff, and even a little bit of the old Sad AM cartoon is referenced in here. So that's a lot of stuff to... It's like almost like this episode was scientifically engineered to appeal to me. Alright, so the episode begins with Dr. Eggman visiting Mombot, because remember, he did not dismantle her, he sent her on a cruise, but now she's back and living in a house. And he stopped to get her a chocolate babka, which I think might be a Seinfeld reference, because I do recall an episode of Seinfeld where they had to get a babka. When he gets there, it turns out that he's a little bit late because there was a line at the bakery, and his brother, Steve Eggman, already arrived with his own chocolate babka. Should have picked up the cinnamon babka. So Eggman gets the viewers caught up by saying, "Mom, he's not my brother. He's a shape-shifting robot built by another me from a parallel dimension." So they're sitting around the table making small talk, and I like how Eggman refers to Sonic as a ridiculous blue pineapple. And he keeps on calling Steve Steve. It's like, call me Morpho on account of that I can morph. And this caused the internet to go abuzz. He transforms into Vector the Crocodile, and looking very much like proper universe Vector, except he's wearing a jacket. That's a really cool and highly detailed model they made. It makes me wonder if Vector is actually going to be making a proper appearance in the show. Will he bring the rest of the Chaotix? Does this mean that we'll get versions of other proper universe characters, like maybe Rouge or Blaze? Well, technically speaking, Blaze comes from yet another parallel universe, but you know what I'm talking about. I'd actually like to see the Chaotix appear in the show. He also turns into Shadow. At first, I thought maybe he was turning into proper universe Shadow. I had to look really closely, but I saw like he had the split end on one of his spines. So yeah, it's Boom Shadow. Kind of a shame. It would have been cool if he turned into proper universe Shadow. That would have started so much internet speculation. Then he turns into Metal. He also turns into Metal Sonic, and he turns into himself. And then he morphs again to himself again. I was like, I don't know, like, when I was on YouTube, I actually paused and looked really close to see if maybe he looks slightly different, but I didn't notice anything. Like, apparently Steve Eggman just transforms into Steve Eggman, just to finish things off. I don't know what he was getting at. So they start to argue and get into a slap fight when Mombot separates them and tells them to work together. So they come up with a plan. And it's a plan that seems perfectly logical that Morpho would do, because, remember, Morpho's from another dimension. So it stands to reason that he can travel between dimensions. So what he does is, we have a scene where Sonic and Knuckles are having a cool car race, a la All-Stars Racing Transformed, which is pretty awesome. Steve Eggman creates a portal that causes Sonic to go into another dimension. Now, continuity, Eggman brings up that if you have two people from different dimensions meet each other, meet their equivalents, it'll cause the universe to collapse. Now, I think when he says universe, he means what we mean. When he says dimension, I think contextually he means universe, and when he says universe, he means multiverse. So like if you occupy the same space-time as one of your other dimensional equivalents, it will eventually cause all dimensions and all reality to collapse. So Morpho made sure to send Sonic to a dimension that another Sonic didn't exist in, which Eggman says sounds like paradise, and Morpho says, now this is paradise because there's no Sonic here, dude, bro! I kind of love how Morpho is basically a dude bro version of Eggman. That's just so funny. So funny. Although, I gotta say, it is a little bit disappointing that they established this rule for the show, because I would really like it if they did a crossover where we got to see the Boom crew interact with the proper universe crew. And this does basically just outright contradict the established continuity of the Archie comics, where Sonic would cross dimensions and meet other versions of himself all the time. In fact, it was one of his other selves, the perpendicular Sonic, whose job it was to interact with his parallel selves. Well, perpendicular selves. Before you're saying that maybe it doesn't count because perpendicular universe, you gotta remember, evil Sonic, before he turned into Scourge, was hiding away in Sonic's home dimension of the Prime Zone, and he was living in it supposedly for weeks or possibly even months, even before he turned into Scourge, while Sonic was in it. So that means that there were two Sonics living in the same dimension for a significant amount of time, and there were no negative consequences to this. So, yeah, like, Boom is contradicting comic book continuity, and there's no way around that. Unless, of course, like, you say that maybe the Prime universe is just strong enough to hold up to that kind of thing. You either had to make an exception, or you're gonna have to amend your rules, Sonic Boom. Because I would really like to see the Boom Sonic interact with proper, and maybe even classic Sonic. That would just be adorable. Alright, so from this point we have two stories being told. Sonic interacting in the parallel universe, and where at first I thought they were trying to do an homage to Eggman Nega, because this Eggman's wearing a dark suit, but it turns out that he's not wearing black, he's wearing brown. So close. So he's not Eggman Nega, it's just another Eggman. But this is where I said that it's more like the old Sad AM cartoon, because this universe is a universe where Eggman rules with an iron fist inside of a steel glove, and some say that he has leg mittens. I'm not sure if he has leg mittens or lead mittens, but there's a lot of metal hands involved, is what they're trying to get at. And the parallel universe of Nedburger is called Gourmet Burger, and the Dave that works there provides excellent customer service, and it's kind of adorable. Okay, so the thing is, when Sonic meets the Amy of this universe... Oh, it's worth noting that in this universe, the characters have had different lives, but their basic personalities are exactly the same. Like Knuckles, he may be a famous fitness guru on TV, but he's still a meathead. Amy may never have actually, may never have met Sonic, but it doesn't change the fact that she's still basically herself. Like, she's part of a resistance group, which I believe that it would just be in Amy's nature to do that. Because apparently she still established a friendship with Styx. And Styx is kind of this universe's Princess Sally. Yeah, she has an eye patch on, which I am 100% convinced that there's nothing wrong with her eye underneath that patch, because her eyelashes come out and they're perfectly fine. I bet she just wears it so that, like, if she goes into a dark room, she can switch eyes and have an eye adjusted to the darkness. Because that's why pirates did it. Not necessarily because they had lost an eye, but so that they could go from the decks of their ships where there was bright sunlight to down below deck where it was much darker, and then they would switch the eye patch over so that they would have an eye with good night vision. Mythbusters did that. They confirmed that that works. And I've even done it. I kept one eye closed for a long time in a room, and then when I open it, it could see much better in the dark than my other eye. That's a thing. But yeah, what I'm trying to get at is that I am convinced that that Styx does not have a damaged eye. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So the other part of Morpho's plan was that with their Sonic gone, the group dynamic here will completely fall apart. So he turns himself into Sonic to make it look like he's to make everyone not know that Sonic is missing, and then he tries to do things like he goes to Amy and invites her out for a walk in the woods. Says, "Oh, Sonic, wait a minute. Sonic's never just considerate. Nice try, Steve." Like, who's Steve? Oh, you must be referring to Great Morpho. I'm Sonic. What's up, Doc? That's not Sonic's catchphrase. Does Boom Sonic have a catchphrase? I know I've been doing this for a while, but my memory sucks, and I don't really think... Like, I know, Sad AM Sonic always said that he had to juice. It's juice and jam time. But does this Sonic have an iconic catchphrase that he says all the time? I don't know. So, this is just so... it's so hilarious how she's like, nice try, Steve, I'm not falling for it. She closes the door in his face like, Amy, aren't you at least a little bit concerned what's going on with actual Sonic? Or are you so convinced that this guy is not a threat that the idea that Sonic might be in danger hasn't even occurred to you? So Eggman chastises Morpho, saying that Sonic is way too cool to admit that he enjoys the company of others. Believe me, I know. Oh, Eggman, you're jealous. You just want your Sonic senpai to notice you, don't you? Of course, in this case, you're the senpai because you're the older one. But whatever. Your underclassman doesn't respect you, I should say. So in the parallel universe, Sonic meets the parallel Amy, and she thinks he's some weirdo and pulls out her hammer. When Eggman comes in with some Golgobas carrying him on a palanquin, Amy ducks behind a bench, but Sonic defiantly stands in his path. And when Eggman tells him to kneel, he's like, "Why would I kneel to your mustachioed egg butt?" like everyone's like gasping, and it's this such insolence. And like, can we just skip this part and get to the part where I kick your butt? Where he gets arrested by the police, because, hey, when, you gotta remember, Eggman rules this dimension, so of course the police do as he says. And it doesn't even occur to anybody to go along with Sonic, because, hey, this is kind of like if Hitler was coming down the street, and there was this one guy defiantly standing in the middle of the road being like, who's this? Who's this asshole with the Charlie Chaplin mustache? You know, even if the people of Germany didn't like Hitler because, you know, the whole he's kidnapping our neighbors and killing a whole and got our country involved in this big nasty war, you know, it's not like one defiant guy is gonna suddenly win the hearts of the people. So he gets arrested and dragged away, and this is where I insist that the show is wrong continuity. They catch him with handcuffs. It is established that Sonic can easily break out of handcuffs. Like, handcuffs are nothing to Sonic. Whether he can simply vibrate out of them or shatter them by moving his hands real fast. Like Sonic cannot be contained by ordinary police-grade handcuffs. Like, it's just not something you can do. But whatever. They arrest him, they put him in a cell, and for some reason he doesn't just smash the walls open to escape. I guess it's because he's trying not to make trouble for the populace, because he is a good guy, and it just doesn't occur to him to do bad things like break out of a prison. Although proper universe Sonic wouldn't let this happen. Although I guess he did sit in a prison cell. in Sonic Adventure 2. Although this was after he broke out of a helicopter. Getting distracted again. Alright, so Morpho continues trying to be Sonic. So he tries to convince everyone at Mad Burger that he's Sonic, and is like, one salad, please! Like, and everyone starts laughing. Sonic ordering a salad. Nice one, Steve. So Amy ends up breaking Sonic out of the prison in the alternate dimension, and she releases Dave. Again, this is where they come up with the whole you provide excellent customer service, and Dave wonders why anyone would go to eat at a restaurant called Mad Burger. So Amy introduces Sonic to the rebellion, and I already mentioned this part. And Styx says that Sonic can either join the rebellion against Eggman or be on her task force against the alien invaders. They haven't invaded yet, but they're coming. He says, "Count me in for the Eggman thing, not the crazy paranoid thing." And this is just to establish that yes, this Styx is still Styx. She's still every bit the Styx from the universe that Sonic's from. It's just that her life has unfolded differently, so that she's leading a rebellion against a brutal dictator, instead of being a crazy paranoid that lives alone in the woods. Or maybe the fact that she was a crazy paranoid that lives alone in the woods made her particularly well suited to fighting a dictator, whatever. So Sonic says that in order to take down Eggman, they gotta get the team together from back in his universe. So they gotta get Knuckles and Tails. They're like, and Amy never even thought about recruiting Knuckles because she thinks he's just some meat-headed idiot from the TV commercials. But Sonic says that he's actually a great asset in fighting Eggman. So they go to Knuckles' place, and at first he thinks they want an autograph, so he signs one of his headshots with a big X because he's illiterate. Again, confirming we are looking at the Boom characters with different lives, not different personalities. And Sonic tries to recruit them to Rebellion. He says, "I can see why you'd want me in the Rebellion, but come on, like you guys are just a bunch of scrawny losers. You can't do anything. And maybe if you were as athletic and awesome as me." And Sonic says, "All right, how about we have a race? We'll go to the gourmet burger and back. And if I can beat if you can beat me, then I'll join the Rebellion." Shoop shoop. And then Sonic comes back with a giant pallet of burgers, which are delicious. What's the secret? Beef? Fancy. So they go to the dictator Eggman's base, and Sonic is upset that they couldn't find Tails, but Styx says that they can't take any more time because Eggman's going stronger by the second. So when they get up to the roof to infiltrate, they find Tails, who's working on some scorpion robots. Now, this universe's Tails is actually a loyal lab assistant who's been working for Dr. Eggman for years. He actually might be a big reason why this version of Eggman is so successful. And you know what? This really reminds me of proper universe stuff. Specifically, Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood. In that game, which was the BioWare Sonic RPG, just for those who don't know, Eggman does join the party, and while he's on the party, he actually has a really good rapport with Tails. Tails and Eggman get along really good because they're both science bros. So they actually have a lot in common, and they get along quite well in the game. Tails even starts to express certain degrees of admiration for Eggman. So yes, I can totally see that in a universe where he never would have met Sonic, he might actually have ended up being a follower of Eggman instead. Doesn't that just blow your mind? But apparently, Sonic convinces him to join them because he actually knows a lot about Tails. Like, Tails thinks that he's just some stranger, but Sonic actually starts talking about Tails, including what his favorite movie is. You know, things that Sonic wouldn't know. And yes, aside from this Eggman thing, this Tails is still Sonic's universe Tails because he has the same favorite movie and he still knows all the same things. So thankfully, they the dictator Eggman comes in and attacks. He attacks and tries to tries to destroy them. what follows is another action sequence where they break some Scorpion robots. Action is fun to look at, not so much to describe. But Eggman, he decides to just shoot a missile from the egg pod to get them, despite the fact that Tails, who's kind of in a state of shock and hasn't moved this entire time, is standing in the crossfire. So Sonic, he rescues Tails from getting hit by the missile, and Styx uses her bow staff to deflect the missile into destroying another Scorpion robot. And, knowing that, okay, so knowing this, Tails decides to fight alongside with his newfound friends here, and working together, they defeat this Eggman, who goes flying off into the horizon, wondering how this happens because he never loses. And, they do say you have to take some losses in your life to build character. Because if you never lose, if all you ever do is win, then you don't know how to deal with a loss when it actually happens. So I can see that this universe's version of Eggman might actually have a mental breakdown. So Sonic says that with Styx's leadership and the crew together, they should easily be able to take out this Eggman and save their world, but he has to return to his universe. So Tails, using a device he rigged up, makes a portal so that Sonic can return to his home dimension. And I have good hopes for this universe, because like I said, this Eggman never had to deal with loss before, and he's lost one of his greatest allies in Tails, who's turned to the other side. So when Sonic returns, we see Eggman is Eggman is trying to get Steve to act like Sonic, and Sonic, he's going all, "I'm Sonic, a rudely toot toot," and so when Sonic's like Gianna say what? They like Sonic, no, this is Sonic, like a rudely toot toot, Like, they don't even show the beatdown. They just show Morpho and Eggman back at Mombot's house with ice packs on their heads. And Mombot says that even though their plan failed, she's still very proud of them because they learned how to work together. And that's something. So they eat evil cookies together, and we have an ending. Okay, so like I said, how long has this been going on? 22 minutes. This is a really long vlog. So, I already said my piece. This episode was freaking fantastic. It's probably one of my favorites of the entire series run so far, and it was awesome. It just really sucks that it took me freaking 3 days to track it down online. So, yeah, this episode is just great. I loved it. Alright, so this is Wake Angel 2001 signing off.